Well, hello everybody and welcome. I'm so excited to be here with you today. Today is October 28th, 2020, and this is your Team Prosperity Wednesday training. I've got some stuff that I want to go over, and I know Mike's got a great presentation for us, so we'll go ahead and get started. This is such an exciting time. You know, we're getting towards the end of the year. This is usually our most busiest quarter, so I hope that you're really feeling it like we are. And what I wanted to go over today, you know, the topic really is conversion. And because of popular demand, I probably had at least 5 or 10 people ask me to go through some step-by-step activity. So I'm going to go over that. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about is just a little flow of conversation and how I'm really getting the most out of my conversations. As you know, my birthday last week really drummed up a lot of just standard happy birthday wishes. And all I did was copy and paste the same little thing. Thank you so much for the warm birthday wishes. If you want to schedule a quick intro call, let me know your availability. Thanks. No spaces. It just looks like it came right out. So this guy said, yeah, please call me so we can set up a good time to chat. I wasn't going to call him right away because I'm probably going to miss him. He doesn't know who I am. So I sent him a link to my calendar, but when I put him on my follow-up list, you could see that I did add his phone number. So if he doesn't schedule my next time around, I will reach out to him by phone or text message. But without this follow-up list that I'm definitely touching on every time I have a little break in my calendar, is making all the difference for me. So I'm going to talk more about that. I also wanted to talk about a call that I had this morning. And usually, you know, people show their pain points or where I could bring in value pretty quickly. But here it took me about a page of notes and about 15 minutes, which is a long time for me, to find out what value we were going to have. And he's going to come in as soon as Medicare is over. But he's part of a sign-up, you know, or a startup company. He's working 14 hours a day. And really the big difference for him was that he liked me. He liked our approach, and he's been approached by many for the same types of things. And I explained to him that even when he's running his business, you know, people fall in love with him. They fall in love with Craig and then everything he does later. So I'll follow up in a few weeks. I'll get him in, you know, the first day once he's not busy. And really what came out after 15 minutes is that he was going to be looking for a pivot anyways after December 7th. Since they only do Medicare, that enrollment period is over. And yeah, they have those people turning 65 or, you know, the other qualifying factors, but you can't build a business around that. And he really wanted to know about what makes us different, right? And I talked to him. I told him, I said, you know, we've got leadership strategy. We have our own closed private Facebook group. We have our own YouTube channel. We do a 12-week year, you know, Saturday weekly accountability meeting groups and support. You know, we'll help you with your goals, your day-to-day activity, your strategy. We have ongoing one-on-one support and training, group training, team training, company training. Everything's recorded. Everything's 100% virtual. You know, people really want to know that they're going to have the help and that you're going to be there for them. And don't forget to tell them that, you know, you're going to be the one that's going to be working with them. They're going to meet our other leaders and other people, but, you know, because people really like you and they want to know that you're not just recruiting, you know, for something else. So and they really want to know that we have their back and that being virtual, we're actually going to have more time for them than less time for them. And I tell them, you know, if we were in an 8 to 5 setting, you wouldn't have access to me on the weekends, at night, in the mornings, you know, but you do because we're 100% virtual. And then we work with them to help them build a brand. You know, that makes us, all of these things make us really different. And after our conversation, he was like, yes, I've been approached by a lot of people, but I'm going to go with you. You know, so just don't forget that you're the face of everything that you're doing. And here's another example. This guy, this was an insurance agent help call. I hope you're doing well. I see that you're an insurance agent. I help insurance agents make more money and get more leads, and I've been doing so for years. Do you need help with that? And you have to come into these calls confident, like you know what you're talking about, even if you're still kind of new, you know. And he says how. I think a lot of people here would just flood him with links and information, but no. I said, let's chat for a few minutes, right? I don't know how I can help him until I find out what his problems are. So he actually scheduled last night for this morning. Now, he did reschedule, not a big deal, but I put him again on my follow-up list. You could see there's his name, help call, today's date, scheduled but then canceled, and I've already reached back out to him. Hey, sorry, I missed you. Let's reschedule at your convenience. So, have a follow-up list, whether it's LinkedIn, Facebook, you use your Gmail, you have a written down follow-up list. You've got to find your system. You can't let these people slip through the cracks. And this is my strategy. I've got one Google Sheet. It's got my follow-ups, right? Were they an intro call or a help call? When did they start the conversation that they want to speak with me? To me, these are all like conversations that have never gotten finished. If I have their phone number, I'll put that there. So that's the first tab is the intro calls, and then they move over to the Calendarly meetings. And what I've been doing is I've been color coding these. So the greens are my follow-ups, the pinks were the missed calls. If they've got red writing, I've talked to them and already resolved them. This bright green one, I had like 11 appointments. I missed that one. I'm trying to reschedule him myself. And this red one, we had a bad connection. This lady, like, I don't know what she thought I did, but she like, it was pretty funny. She was trying to tell me that she's not interested in gutters, or I don't know. It was, you just have to laugh. And she's like, never call me again. This has only happened once, but we have to laugh at it. You know what I mean? Like, you just have to find your follow-up system, stay consistent with it. To me, it's not even follow-up. It's a back and forth conversation. So if somebody says, like I told this guy, I look forward to getting to know you. If you want to schedule a quick intro call, please let me know your availability. Thanks. And he said, hey, what does your schedule look like for next week? Now, if I just walked away and didn't say anything back, that would be super rude. So I said, hi, here's a link to my calendar. Now, I don't know if he missed it, got it, didn't get it, but he's on my follow-up list. And what I do is if I'm not in front of my follow-up list, I'll just take a screenshot of it, and then a few times a week I'll go through the screenshots, add them to my follow-up list. But think of it more like a conversation. You have a list of people that you're talking to, and they want to talk to you. You just haven't gotten to the scheduling part yet. And if you think about like how a conversation goes, it's going to go back and forth a few times before it actually gets onto your calendar. So you have to be able to track that somehow. So to me, I feel like it's rude to kind of stop in the middle of a conversation. Now, if I send him my link and he doesn't reply and I follow up 3, 4, 5 times and no reply, then yeah, I'm not going to follow up with him anymore. I'm going to chase the ones that seem like they want to actually schedule. Like this one says next week versus somebody that says, sure, whatever. Yeah, I want to do that. Maybe the sure whatever will get 3 follow-ups, so this guy will get 5 follow-ups. But it's going to take a few back and forth to actually get them onto the calendar. So just think of it as conversations that you're kind of in the middle of. And then another piece of advice is use your mail tracker. Right after you talk to them, you send them a little message. This guy, Devin, I've been trying to follow up with now for a few weeks. He seemed like we had a really great conversation, but again, he's part of a brand new company and he's really busy and he's really important. So those are the guys I want to talk to, and maybe they'll, require a little bit more follow-up. And he opened my email last night after 3 weeks, so I'll shoot him a text or give him a call today or both. And then here's another person, Ryan. You could see he opened something from 5 months ago. So I'll look at the notes and see how that went, and maybe he'll require another follow-up as well. But use the mail tracker. It's a free Gmail attachment. And then last thing I'm going to leave you with is this is what I've been doing lately, just the last few days. It really just kind of came to me like, okay, if there's no value right now, the window of opportunity is not open. I still had a great intro call. They still know about me. Why not send them a little blurb? Hey, it was great to talk to you. Here's a little bit about what I do, like we discussed. So explore the site, discover a mission, et cetera, some of the bullet points that we talked about. Because who knows, maybe if it's not for them, they'll refer to a friend, or maybe their window of opportunity will be open later. Nothing bad about sending a little bio, a few links, or some information once you're done. So that's all I have. I hope that you all got something out of it, and I hope that was helpful. I'm really excited to see what Mike's got. So let me get him right now.
All right, guys. Hope everybody's doing well. We've still got over 60 days left in this year. So do what you can. Remember, while everybody is waiting for 2021 to get back into some type of rhythm activity, anything you do now, positive impacts now, as well as a springboard for 2021. So today, what we want to talk about is really conversion. I want to go back into conversion because I think that a lot of us have a misconception of what conversion is. I've got a couple of things I want to go through, and then a meat of what we want to talk about today is really preemptively getting rid of people and then qualifying the other people. Remember, you've got two sides of your business. You've got a client and a partner side. Both sides of the fence are important, and when you learn how your approach to either can be kind of the same, it's much easier to run this business. So one of the things that we have to understand is if we're going to build nationwide sales teams and nationwide distribution of a product or a service, it actually starts with building a base shop or a home office as fast as you can. You know, you can do this all on your own, but if you want to go far, you're going to need a team. And if you're going to build nationwide distribution, you're going to need a team. So everything that you do on a daily basis should have an emphasis on getting this office built with active, good people as quickly as possible. And if you understand what you need to do, it's just as simple as going out and doing the necessary things that make it happen. It's like Alana showed. You're not doing anything special. It's the same thing over and over and over again, getting people on the calendar, talking to them. Remember, when you've got a great migration of people because of something like COVID, people are looking for things more now than ever. If you just open your mouth and not shove stuff down people's throat, but just have conversations with them, let them open up, give you information, you may be able to help them. And it really comes back to just a constant battle. Remember, every day is a round. If you win enough rounds, you're going to win the match. You know, every day you're not going to feel great. Every day is not going to be a great day in terms of results, but you have the choice, you know, to work on yourself, get up, and do the necessary things to try to make yourself successful. You're in a good position. You're in a business that you have the opportunity to help others, have fun, make money. It's a positive ripple effect on the partner and the client side. So people need you. People want you. Can they find you? Do you want to be found? The big part of an online business is visibility. And you get to business partners and you get to clients through that tier one contact. That tier one contact is like bricks for building what you want. If there's no bricks, there's never going to be a building. So some of the things that we do may seem monotonous, may seem like a grind. In the beginning, it's all on you, and it does feel like that. But you have to get through that period of time in order to secure the rest of what you need to build distribution, build the cash flow asset that's going to pay you passive income with that all-important exit strategy. Your business really starts in the core of your inner circle. So as you bring partners in, the first place they should go to is their contacts, their phone, the people that they know. If you can't talk to people you know, then you're never going to be able to talk to people in cold market, social media, all of these other places. And you're not trying to sell them a vitamin, lotion, potion, cream. You've got significant financial services that can help people. And if you look at the statistical analysis about, you know, the financial state of this country, families, individuals, most anybody that you talk to, most anybody in that contact list is going to need some type of help from you. Now, whether or not they're willing to look at it, accept the help, you know, move forward in a positive way, that's up to them. That's not your job. Your job is just to invite people to take a look at what you're doing on either side of the business, get some video information out, follow up, let the chips fall where they may. We're only trying to help the people who actually want to help themselves. And then outside of that warm market, you also have really an endless market that we call the common market. So remember, if you're trying to get in front of people and you have some loose commonality, whether it's school, you played sports, previous occupation, military, church, civic group, whatever it is, that gives you the bridge to open up a conversation. And that bridge is a bridge of connection. People like people who are the same as them in some type of way. It'll usually buy you a small time. So we start with the warm market, start with the common market, and then we build out from there. And the reason that we do is because your job is to establish trust, credibility, and rapport. It's much easier to do that in the warm market, in the common market with a loose bridge of association or commonality. Once you establish this stuff, people will talk and give you the information, uncover the problem you may have a solution for that leads to an action step. If you never establish this bottom part of the pyramid, you're never going to get to an action step. And you get good at doing this by getting into markets that you already feel comfortable with and then taking that skill set and then applying it to other markets. Remember, it's very easy what we do. We uncover problems through an analysis that we offer solutions for. Now, whether or not somebody wants to take that solution or whether or not they just want to drown in the misery of their problem, that's up to them. And we're going to learn today how to get rid of some of those people way earlier. And if you've done your job and you've created a pipeline, remember, it doesn't take much to separate a $50,000 earner from a $500,000 earner, and a lot of that probably can be traced back to follow-up. Have a follow-up system, guys. Don't just, Alana showed you guys a follow-up system. She shows you guys why she has more calendar appointments than you do, because she's more organized than you do. She doesn't let things fall through the cracks. That's something that we all can work on, including myself. But communication schedule, voicemails, emails, text, social media messages, get in front of people to the point of resolving leads. You don't want to just have a lead that you created that just drifts off somewhere that you forget about, the prospect forgets about, you never follow up with. It's a waste of time. If you've done your job on the front side, make sure you take it through the entire process to either kill it and dump it or resolve it in one of the outcomes that we have on the partner or client side. And you've got to add value to your approach. Don't just follow up for the sake of following up. Be interesting, be engaging, have a target or objective to every single thing that you do in this business. Your job is to find people and then differentiate those people. Are these people interested in a better financial life? Are they interested in a business opportunity? Or are they committed to their life, their business, their goals, and their dreams? We don't need spectators as partners, and we're not looking for people who are just, somewhat interested, just kind of taking a look at what's going on. We need people who are committed to making a difference. And that's really what we want to talk about today is the conversion, because we have a misguided kind of understanding about what conversion is. Conversion is not getting to the end of something and then overcoming a lot of objections to the point that we have a resolution. Conversion actually happens at the very, very beginning of the conversation where you start to pick off people through disqualification, which in turn allows you to end up with qualified individuals that you want to work with. So let's take a look at some of how this works, and whether it's in the way that you come across verbally, an oral communication, whether it's in messages, whether it's in posts. This is the type of stuff that we need to make sure that we understand. Everything that you're doing starts out as a negotiation. So if I could, how would you like to? So if I could, or how would you like to, one of the more variable things that we do for the partner or the client side, knowing exactly what to expect. Remember, if I could, or how would you like to, without really knowing what to expect and having a lot of random variables in the process of the equation is frightening for people. So if I can do this, or if you could, get to a certain point knowing exactly what to expect, and then reinforcing not having to worry about it. It's on, if I'm talking about, debt or retirement income or asset accumulation or business opportunity, what do they not have to worry about coming in here, working with you as a client, working with you as a partner? Because that preemptively starts to overcome some of those obstacles, or it gets rid of the people early. It should be easy, and you got to reinforce this. It should be easy if you work hard to build a business that takes care of you and your family. It should be easier. Shouldn't it be easier if you work your entire life and save money in a retirement account to have a decent standard of living in retirement? All of these things should be easy, but they're really not. And that sets us up for, why is that? So everything you're doing is leading people to conclusions. Why is it that if, all this stuff should be easy, why is it that some people, percentage of people find success as a client, as a partner, however that conversation is leading, and why is it that most all others don't have a clue? Well, the unfortunate reality is that traditionally people just have a hope and a pray mentality. So, no real plan of action. I'm just going to drift through. I'm just going to throw money at this. I'm just going to throw hours at this, whatever it is. And that's always met with the cold reality of the unknown and the uncertain. Things are always going to happen in your personal and your business life that are unexpected. So if you're starting with a hope and a pray mentality and you're met with those negative variables that come in, it's a recipe for disaster. That's why people, don't have a clue. And what do they have to do through this process if they don't have a clue? They're going to be in a constant state or cycle of trying to find what's the answer today, what's the answer tomorrow, what's the right product for right now, do I have the right timing, do I have the right strategy? The right strategy and the right process should be long-term. So if somebody's constantly in a state like this or a cycle like this, they're not going to find the success they're looking for. So what is your job? Your job is to create conversation where people know, hey, there is a strategy for whatever it is that you're pitching. On the client side, the partner, there is a strategy for creating viable and long-term solutions that work now and will work in the future, continue to work in the future. And that's very, very important because some things that work now aren't going to work in the future. Some things that work in the past, they don't work now. So your job is to let people know you've got something that's viable and it's a long-term solution for what they're trying to do. And you also have to learn how to share with people. Hey, these are the mistakes that everyone else is making, because you have to make people understand that I don't want to be lumped into all of these other people. I understand from what you're telling me that if I don't make these moves that I will. So you're leading them to action steps. Also, the things that most successful people have present, without question, what others struggling do not. So successful business, successful client setup, what is it that they have present that other people don't? And then finally, what is that proven strategy that generates leads, that generates debt elimination, that converts debt to wealth, that generates guaranteed retirement income? Whatever it is that you have, the strategy is there. You can share that. And those exact strategies, you have to let people know, hey, what I've been doing takes people from a state of confusion to a state of confidence with exact strategies that you can put into place now. What does that do for the client? What does that do for the partners they come in? Well, it creates a peace of mind and control for the future. And above all, no matter what you guys are doing, this is really what we're trying to sell, is control, peace of mind, and opportunity. And you have to let people understand that things are changing all around them. And that's one of the easiest ways for people to understand. Environments have, and they continue to change. And they reward the prepared, and they punish the unprepared. Once again, if you're an insurance agent, real estate agent, CPA, if you're a self-employed business owner, whatever it is that you're talking about, looking to have, more control, more leads, more money, guaranteed retirement income, debt elimination, whatever it is, you're definitely in the right place. So as the conversation starts to mature, you're leading people either to a point that you're disqualifying them or you're qualifying them. You've got answers, and you need to be able to explain those answers in a 1, 2, 3 kind of design. This, what I'm offering you, it creates exact answers that you need. It works with different types of situations. It's based on proven results. Partner, client side, it doesn't matter. You've got answers, and they need to be laid out in a kindergarten, elementary way, not real complicated, because people will be drawn to simplicity. Oh, I understand that. I can do that. It's working for other people. It'll work for me. And then you have to explain, whether it's a business opportunity, whether it's on the client side, and let's just say money matters and people's personal finances. I'm sure that you've noticed people usually fall into one or two categories. Talking to insurance agents, hey, in the insurance industry, sure you've noticed that insurance agents fall into one of two categories. Which are they? They're in the dark. These are the people, either the clients or the partners that you're potentially talking to, that are ill-prepared, they're unready, they're surprised, they're blindsided by several variables. Those people, the drifters. They're just kind of doing things, hoping that it will work out. Going back to one of those previous slides, the hope and the pray mentality, it's not going to work. And if you're talking to the clients, it's people that worked harder and longer than their money did. If you're talking to potential partners, it's partners that worked harder and longer than their business or their book of business did. And the other side of that is the empowered. These are the people who have a clear vision, a plan for the data-driven decisions, having the knowledge and confidence to put the plan in place, knowing exactly what's going to happen. So are they, in the dark? Are they empowered? And you have to let people know breaking this down, they're going to fall on one of these two sides. You want to create them into the empowered category. If not, you're going to end up being another sad statistic. So here's how you take control. You are leading people to decisions. After working with several clients, after talking to several people in the industry, whatever it is that you're centering the conversation around, it became very obvious that the empowered have two main and key things in place, while the in dark maybe have one, but usually have neither. So a plan of action with a proven strategy, long-term viability, this is what we've got. What are the two things? It's really simple. You have to have a predictable strategy that's going to create whatever it is that you're looking for. Eliminate debt, create wealth, guaranteed retirement income, more leads, business growth, whatever it is. And you got to have a proven process that secures the strategy for the long run with a track record of success. Without those two things, and when you're talking to potential clients especially, if you don't have those two things, and if you're just going to go forward and whatever happens, happens, what does that situation look like? How does that make you feel? Same thing on the partner side. If somebody's struggling in the industry and they don't have these two things in place, going forward, hey, what does your business look like? If you're having trouble opening conversations right now, going forward, what does the situation look like? How does that make you feel? It's easy to get distracted, and this is on the partner and the client side. Everybody's just running around trying to make money, or, their personal, their professional commitments, whatever it might be. Day-to-day basis, you guys know this better than anybody. The days go by, the weeks go by, the months go by, but until that other side is 100% responsible for 100% of their future, they're never going to be truly free and become the empowered. Once again, they're going to lay on one of those sides. We want them to become the empowered, whether that's a client or a partner. This is what we're laying out. And the empowered control their situation, and they know the following. And really, no matter what you're talking about, if you're talking about a client or partner, it comes down to two main things all the time: money and time. If the client's trying to get somewhere or the partner's trying to get somewhere, these are the two things. And there's variables inside both of these, but it's a 1-2 combination. How much money, how much time? And then looking at the situation, we're able, from the client and the partner side, that's why we lead with conversation. That's why Alana's trying to teach you to open conversation, because until you know what's going on, you can't insert yourself as a person in there able to help them. So what we do is we look at the situation in a detailed way. Once we're able to kind of talk to someone, and once we get a solution that's going to work, we can solve the puzzle and we'll show you what you need to do. But ultimately, it's up to you to take the next action steps and the necessary action steps to get the help that we can help you with. So once again, we're looking to help people that actually want to help themselves. If they want to remain in the problem just to complain about it, we need to cut those people off as soon as possible. And you're going to have command and control over your situation, over your business, over your money, over your retirement, whatever it is, over your debt. You'll have an extremely important piece that moves you forward no matter what environment. Remember, ups and downs, the economy, ups and downs in our personal life, ups and downs in our professional life. If you've got something that moves you forward, a strategy and a proven process, then it helps you along the way not make those emotional decisions. You got to figure out one or more different ways. You can try to do all this on your own, or you can talk to me, talk to us, and get it from us. And then you always want to pre-qualify. Hey, this is perfect for you if you're looking to protect and grow your money, protect and grow your business, whatever it is, secure and protect your lifestyle, reduce the unknowns, produce results in a predictive way. If you're looking for this type of stuff, this is perfect based on what I'm negotiating with you. And then you always want to make sure that people know, hey, working with me is something that it's a two-way commitment. And I want to help people, and I'm willing to help you, but you've got to meet some of the following criteria. I want to help those who want to immediately, whether it's eliminate debt, build a business, build retirement income, whatever. I want to help those who immediately want to do something. I want to work with people, potential partners or clients, who want a reliable and easy to execute plan. I want to work with people who are serious about taking the next action steps to create a foolproof strategy that gets them wherever it is that they want to go, that we open the conversation on. So who is this for? And you've got to make sure people understand this is for potential clients, potential partners looking for a predictable strategy. that creates more leads, creates more revenue, creates more income, creates more retirement income, creates more wealth, whatever it might be. And you're those people looking for a proven process that secures that strategy for the long run with a track record of success, and those people who value taking control over their business, their retirement, their money, their debt situation, whatever it might be. They have to understand, and you've got to be willing to tell people, hey, if I'm going to go through this process, I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do. You've got to understand that you should be willing to understand the need to devise a plan of action to reach the expectations and their goals. It's not just about laying out a roadmap. It's about following that roadmap and actually getting there. And you got to understand that working with you, your time, energy, resources going into a new partner or a new client, it's a two-way commitment. But most people, once they understand the advantages of working with you, and they instantly realize the relationship is both important and results-oriented, you've got to lay down the law. You've got to frame the conversation. You've got to disqualify people early on. Who is this not for? Once again, this is a disqualifier. Hey, this is not for potential partners or potential clients who just want to, remain, in the problem. Who are happy with the lender's debt plan, who are happy with not talking to anybody, who are happy with a lack of leads, a lack of revenue, a lack of income. Also, potential partners or clients who are not looking for answers or solutions. Those people who are stuck in information gathering mode, not prepared to take action. And those people who are not absolutely serious and committed to that end result. So once again, disqualifying people is important. And understanding that we're a good fit together. Remember, people need to sell you a little bit on why they would want to work with you. If you're constantly always selling yourself and you're never disqualifying, you're never qualifying, you're never getting, the rules of engagement in your conversation, that's a problem because you're going to allow people to run all over you. You've got to give people the time, energy, resources necessary to help them, so they've got to be a good fit. Truth is, some people you just cannot help. And if that's the case, you're going to be 100% upfront, maybe suggest an alternative if appropriate, but you're looking for those people who ultimately are a good fit, who you are absolutely sure that you can get the results for. Whatever you guys talked about, client, partner, whatever it is, you're looking for those people that you are absolutely sure that if they're willing to make the commitment they will from their side, that you're going to be able to help them. The first step is to see, that's really what we're trying to see. That's what Alana's teaching you. Hey, on a help call, I have no idea if I can help you or not. How can you help? I have no idea. We need to talk and to see if I'm the best person to help you, see what the problem is, and also to see if you're ready to actually take the next action steps to generate the results for the strategy. Remember, uncovering the problem and getting the solution, only half the battle. You've got to get them to take the action steps, and if they're unwilling to do that, you want to find that out early. And at the end of the meeting, at the end of the call, they're either going to be a fit, and that's great. You'll extend an invitation to work with you, or it's not a good fit, and that's totally okay. If you preemptively tell people, hey, at the end of what we're going to do, one of two things is going to happen, help set their mind at ease because they know they're not coming in and just trying to be 100% sold something, 100% recruited on something that, just like Alana says, we help build a brand, we help do all this stuff, the training, mentoring, leadership. All that stuff's important, but they've got to be a good fit. So what we just went through, and I'm going to send the PowerPoint out if you guys want it, or I'll post it on Facebook. And I know it was kind of wordy, but I want you guys to understand that in recruiting, in sales, in marketing, all of these things, you don't want to get through a long process and get to the end and start overcoming objections with rebuttals. That's a waste of time. What we want to do is we want to get something into place that has some type of a flow where what we've done is we've actually avoided the objections by preemptively going through a process to make sure there's no breaks in the chain. So remember, avoiding objections sounds weird. It just sounds like you're unwilling to rebuttal and overcome those. But if you've done your job, by the time you get to the end, you're not overcoming objections. You're not rebuttaling. You've got people to the point where you've done two things. You've disqualified a great number of people on the front side for one or more variable reasons to lead to a qualified individual now that understands exactly what you're going to do for them, exactly what they have to do, and you guys are under the same understanding of what needs to happen. That's so important. You go into this with the mindset of disqualifying people based on some language, based on some verbiage, based on some feedback that you get from them in order to end up with somebody, either a partner or a client that you know that you can work with, that you know that you can help, and that you know is willing to do what's necessary from their side to make this happen. Next week, we're going to go back into LinkedIn because it's super important. I told you guys that over the next 26 or 24, 36 months, whatever it might be, LinkedIn will be reaching scale. Up to that point, you have the greatest organic opportunity on the net right now, online, to get in there and put a footprint in LinkedIn. If you're not dominating LinkedIn by next summer, next fall, then you failed and we failed, because that's going to be a heavy emphasis, because all that stuff that Alana's showing you, cost of acquisition of a partner, cost of acquisition of a client, is zero. So we'll go back into LinkedIn. Like I said, I know today was kind of wordy, guys, but it's very, very important, because we've got to learn how to do the things on the front end to get rid of the people that we want to get rid of, because if we wait to get rid of them on the back end, that's time, energy, resources that we get a 0% or a zero return on.
Mike, that was a really, really great training. I took like a page of notes. Let me go ahead and stop the recording, and then we'll open up the floor for questions or comments. Thanks so much.